gente, and welcome back to another episode of Vino y la Verdad, hosted by ladies of Wine and Wisdom 5. Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hola. How are you?
How are you? I'm good. How was your day?
Good. How's everybody doing?
Good.
And chilling.
Tired.
Crazy weather.
Today.
We can't make up our minds.
Anyone has a long weekend?
Yes. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you,
Juneteenth?
Jesus.
Yes, I do have a long weekend. It's Juneteenth.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thankfully, yes. Looking forward to that.
So needed.
I know. I feel like lately these past couple of weeks have just been overly exhausting.
Yeah.
Well, it's my first Juneteenth off, and I'm happy to have off.
Good for you.
Yes.
Enjoy it.
This is my
Embrace
second.
it.
I am.
This is my
Yeah,
second.
this
We
is my
started last
second.
year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is my second. I'm glad that they're doing that.
Yes.
That they're, bringing in, and acknowledging the
Well,
meaning.
it's a federal holiday now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a federal holiday.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
To
really
some, it's the new 4th of July.
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. And for people who don't know what Juneteenth is, it's like we said, it's a federal holiday in the US commemorating the emancipation of enslaved African Americans. So
Yeah.
Freedom.
And there was an awesome, they do an awesome thing in the White House, which was amazing. There was some great artists there performing and all that. So that was really nice.
yeah, I didn't get to see that.
Yeah.
I heard it was cool though.
Yeah.
But yeah. But we also celebrated the Puerto Rican Day Parade this past weekend.
Oh my gosh, I was actually a part of that this year.
That's so
And I haven't
awesome.
Part of that in a long time.
Me too.
Ma. And I only was a part of it because my daughter's sorority was parading on it. So I said,
So cool.
you got to support.
Yeah.
But
Of course.
Amazing experience. It wasn't overly crowded. Everything was super controlled.
Nice.
Great time. We saw our friends Ibelisa,
Aw.
Ricky Tommy, and
That
I'm
is
here
so
yelling,
cool. I love it.
It was a fun time.
That is so cool.
so
Yeah.
good. The
You know,
music
it's funny. I used to go every year to the
Me
116 Fest. Me, my sister, my cousins, like every year we would go to the 116 Fest and the parade. Like we never ever missed it. To the point where people would just be like, ¿De dónde ustedes son? De Isla Verde. And we'd be like, sí, bien dominicanas, pero we in the mix. And they would believe it. And my sister right away would start talking cantao and shit, and she sounded just like a Boricua, and they would fall for it all the time. It would be hysterical.
It
But
was
we
fun.
always would take part of it. I really stopped going. I think once the kids got big, because honestly, even when Ethan was born, I used to put him on the carrier that you put in your body. And vámonos.
Yeah, no, I haven't been since before that whole big thing that happened.
Yeah, that was the last time I had been there too.
It's been years. Like my daughters didn't go with me. So this is my first time. Juliana
enjoy all the parades. Like I would go to the, St. Patrick's Day parade. I would go to obviously to my Dominican parade. I would go to the Thanksgiving parade. Like I used to enjoy all that. But then, as the kids get bigger, you're fearful, God forbid something happens. How do you run with 2 kids? So that's, I think, why I stopped going as well. Once, they were at
I used to go faithfully to the Puerto Rican Day Parade, but when it got a little crazy and people just started becoming disrespectful.
Right.
They're
ruining a good thing.
Right. They're ruining the meaning of it and the concept of it, right? If you're celebrating your culture and everybody getting together. We got dunked with buckets of water. So guys were like walking around the park and just dunking people with buckets of water. And it was just a crazy time. And I think after that, we just stopped, going.
It got very disrespectful for some time. So hopefully now it goes back on track, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, it was back on track. There was no dumping of water.
I love that.
A lot of security, everything was calm. I was on
a beautiful experience.
Beautiful.
I love it. Next year we got to go together.
Yeah, that would be awesome. We should.
We need to find out how to get on that fucking shit.
Oh, we can get on.
Yeah,
We
we
need
need.
to
Yeah,
get
we need to get on
on
the float. We need to get on.
a lot
That
of
should be our
connections.
goal.
Get on it.
Just saying,
That's our goal. We got to be on the float next year.
That's
know,
on our bucket list.
Yes, that's on our bucket list. Yeah, definitely. I'm looking.
Bucket list.
Yeah, looking forward to that. That would be so much fun. And speaking of bucket list, that is the topic of our conversation today with our amazing guest, Jessy Peralta. We're going to be talking about our bucket list, what our goals are, what our desires are, whether they're spiritual or they're, tangible, or they're just things we want to accomplish. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in our Pero Porque Why segment with Jessy Peralta. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, welcome back to our Pero Porque Why segment. Today we're talking all about bucket lists. We're talking about, do you have a bucket list or you don't have a bucket list? But most importantly, we have the amazing Jessy Peralta with us. Jessy, welcome.
Yay!
Hi.
So happy to be here.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Finally, right? It's been like in the making for a while.
I
Trying to
know.
get it
Trying to collaborate our schedules has been insane, but I'm so happy that we finally made it. 2 years later, but we made it.
Yes, that's all that matters. We're here now. So
I'm so happy that you're here. I haven't seen you in a really long time, and I've seen you grow up through social media and Facebook, and I'm like, oh my God, this is doing so great, with your pageants and your work and your blog. And, I'm very proud of you.
thank you. That means the world to me. Thank you.
So we want to talk today about our bucket list. And from what it looks like, you've been checking off a couple of things off of yours. You were in Dubai, you're Miss Eco USA.
Yeah.
Like, what is on your bucket list? What are your, goals? Or do you have any like spiritual things on your bucket list, or, the other things that you want to achieve that you haven't achieved yet? Like, let's talk about it.
Yeah, so it's been kind of a crazy ride, but I think first, like before having a bucket list to check off, I think like the main thing I want to check off my bucket list is like reaching like internal happiness and like being happy with myself. And I think, happiness comes from within. So I think before, jumping out of airplanes or doing something crazy that, I'm sure one of us wants to do, I think it's important to reach that internal happiness, which I think, I'm still working on it. Life is a journey. So I think first, before anything, is just like having like that internal happiness. And then once I'm, content with myself and satisfied, then all the other fun, crazy stuff can come about. So that's like the first thing I think on my list.
I think that's an amazing answer. I think that's something that we learn throughout life. It's not something that I think even us now in our 40s, we're still trying to find ways to be internally happy, to find, every check off everything, like we're good health, right? Or we have good mental health. We're satisfied with, our goals and our aspirations, our family, our friends. And then I guess your accomplishments and your wants, right? There's needs and then there's wants. So I think, that's a real good fucking answer. Wanting to try to find your internal happiness.
I think internal happiness is maintenance throughout your entire life, right? Because with every, I don't know, 10 years, or maybe even 5 years, who knows?
Stages, right?
Like different stages of life. Yeah. And then you just keep growing from that and learning. And it's like you discover so many different things about yourself that you're like, wow, is this what that feels like? And you make just, it's just a maintenance thing for me. Yeah.
And it's funny you say that, Jessica, because it is about different stages in your life, right? Because at different stages, there's different wants or different needs. And internal has a lot to do with spiritual and mental. If those things are not all balanced, then you're not internally happy. No. And again, depending where you are in life, that changes. Right? When you're in your 20s, it means one thing. When you're in your 30s, it means another. And when you're in your 40s, it means another. So absolutely, it's all about growth and life and different stages, but it's so important. So you hit it right on the nose with your answer, Jessy, because it's so important to be internally happy. And like you said, no one else can make us happy. We have to make ourselves happy.
Right.
And my happy is different from your happy, and her happy and her happy. We all have a different meaning of what happiness is for us, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So I loved it. Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it's like a answer, right? Because it's like, you know, throughout the different stages, maybe what made me happy in my 20s is not going to make me happy now in my 40s, right? And there's just different, I think there's different levels of happiness, and then there's evolution of happiness. You know, there's growth within yourself, within your, you know, your mental state. So like, do you feel that it's a spiritual part of you too that'll bring you to that place, or is it more like a mental thing, or like what do you think your journey would be to find that internal happiness?
Yeah, I think definitely it's a connection between like your spiritual and like your personal, and just like the areas you choose to surround yourself with. I think that all plays a part in your happiness. And you know me, I went to Catholic school like my entire life. So I learned, you know, after school, like the
We all
difference
did.
between-
Raise your hands.
We all
Rose.
did.
Raise your hands. We all did.
We all did.
That's so funny. So it's like, yeah, it's like I learned the difference between, you know, religion and being spiritual. And, you know, now that I'm older, I kind of could like pave my own way and figure out what my religion or my relationship with God or any other source above us looks like. So I think, yeah, it's about kind of like knowing your boundaries and setting your foundation and what you choose to believe in and what you choose to pour your energy into. I think that's like a combination of the two that like leads to like your internal happiness.
Cheers to you, baby girl.
Yes.
Oh,
Cheers
I got my
to
wine
you.
too.
To
Cheers.
Cheers to you. I'm loving all these answers. Yeah.
Dropping gems.
I'm loving all these answers. It's definitely a spiritual journey as well, you know, and you know, for some people they think that you having a relationship with God will automatically bring you some type of happiness, but I think it's having a relationship with yourself and knowing how to have a relationship with God. Right. Because you could just sit in a corner and do the rosary, and as we all know, that's not having a relationship with God.
Right.
Or whatever you believe in, right? Whatever spirit,
or whatever, whatever
you believe in.
Yeah. You know, for the most part, all of us here are very spiritual and we have faith. But we also individually carry different ways of expressing our faith and our relationship with God as well. So that's, you know, it's your answers are like just they're making me think, you know.
Spot on.
Yeah, they're so spot on to you know, just open up the conversation into all the different things that we, you know, when people ask what's on your bucket list, a lot of people are like, oh, I want to, you know, skydive, or I want to, you know, climb Mount Everest, or I want to go to the Grand Canyon, you know. But I don't think a lot of people seem to think outside of the box and to focus their bucket list on themselves first. And once they're good with themselves first, and they realize to love themselves first, it opens up the door for so many other things. You know, how do you have your bucket list set up?
I kind of have it like with my, like my New Year's resolution type of thing. Well, I call them like New Year's intentions, because like resolution sounds like played out to me. So I say New Year's intention, and like if I didn't do it last year, it's gonna carry over to the next year until I get it done. So I kind of have like those like hand in hand, like my bucket list and my New Year's intention. And I think it changes. You know, I think someone else mentioned earlier that like, you know, life changes, your journey changes, your want changes. So like maybe what I wanted to do 5 years ago, I don't care so much for now, and vice versa. So I think, you know, recently a lot of my bucket lists have been to travel, and I've been so blessed to be able to do that. I recently won a beauty pageant where the international level took us to Egypt to compete for 3 weeks. Yeah. Awesome. So I never in a million years thought I would go to Egypt, but since you know I won, I kind of had to go. I had to go for sure. So that kind of opened the door. Yes. Yeah, so it's like it was a crazy experience, but that kind of opened up the doors for me for like traveling, and there's so much, you know, more out there. And I was just in Paris last week, and then Greece the week before that. So just a lot of, you know, random blessings coming my way, but I'm not saying no to them. So definitely like continue to travel. Yeah, that's like on my bucket list.
So Jessy, how did you come about the pageant life? Like, was that something on your bucket list? Did it just fall on your lap? Like, what was going on with that?
Yeah, I mean, like back in 2009, I think we kept getting like these like brochures in the mail of like these beauty pageants. And then I was like, okay, I dance ballet on weekends and stuff. I was like, why not? And then I did, and then I got hooked. And then when you get older, a lot of pageants, they give you scholarship money for school if you win. And I like money. So I was like, you know, I want to win. I want to do it well. And, you know, I took a lot away from it. So it's something that I grew a passion for sure.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Is it expensive? Like, you know, the dresses and...
Yeah, it's a very expensive sport, like a very expensive hobby. But I mean, over the years, like I've built relationships with like designers and different brands that they'll either like lend me things or gift me things. So it's all about the connections you build at the end of the day.
Yeah. I think that's in everything though. It's how you network and how you build relationships.
For sure.
Definitely. But I want to ask you about your nonprofit organization. I had the honor of meeting your mom. She was amazing. I loved her very much. She spoiled me very, very much. So how is that going with your nonprofit organization? Do you still have time to do your fundraisers every year?
It's very challenging, as you can imagine. But ironic enough, I started the organization through a pageant because this beauty pageant had like an optional area of competition where it gave contestants the chance to create their own nonprofit organization. And this happened maybe like 2 or 3 years after she passed away. And I knew I wanted to start something. I just didn't like have the push. So I did like my little essay, my video, and it won. And then it gave me $1,000 to start the nonprofit.
Wow.
So with that, it was super cool. So with that, I registered like for a nonprofit in New York State. I got the EIN number, all like the boring tax stuff, or the tax exempt stuff. And we've held about 2 events. It slowed down tremendously because of COVID. But I still I try to be, it's my brother and I and my aunt, we try to be very active on it. So on social media, we connect with other people that have the same cancer that she did. And right now we are working to create cancer care packages for hospice patients. So I'm actually communicating with the hospital that she was last in, Calvary in the Bronx. And a lot of great companies have donated socks, candles, hand sanitizer, just things that can help a patient that's in hospice. I think it's a small gesture, but it'll go a long way to the patient and their family. So
100%.
It's something small I do to like keep her honor alive and just raise awareness, and it brings our family together.
And help others.
Beautiful. That is so amazing.
Cheers to you again.
That's really a blessing.
Thank you guys.
And going to the spiritual thing, I'm all about, you know, I believe in that stuff, and I feel that's why you're getting so many blessings.
Oh yeah,
because you're doing what you're doing in honor of your mother, and you're helping so many other people. That's why your blessings and your doors are opening for you. So keep doing what you're doing.
I never looked at it that way, but thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, what would you say like would be one of your, you know, your takeaways from one of your hardest life experiences?
I think my major takeaway would just be like to never forget my why reason. Like, I know I need to go to school, go to work, do things. I know I have to do them, but like the message behind it is like, why? It's like, I know my mom would be pissed if I didn't finish school. She would be pissed if I didn't work. You know, she'd be pissed if I didn't, you know, do X, Y, and Z. So I always like keep her in the back of my head, like, okay, I do these things for her for this reason. You know, she came here from DR, struggled for many years, became an RN, worked really hard, and really held it down as like a single parent, growing up in New York as an immigrant. So that'll always be like my why reason, like never forget why, you know, so.
Yeah.
That's a great reason.
God bless you, girls.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so proud. I want to cry.
Your mom. Your fucking mom.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you.
Jessy, what is in store for like upcoming, like future, like what's on your bucket list that you haven't that you're working on? I'm not going to say you haven't reached because you're going to reach it, but that you're working on to reach, you know? What's going on?
A lot of stuff. Well, I want to like eventually own something like in my own name. So I have a house in DR that my mother built, but when she passed away, she couldn't finish it. So I went over there last summer and I finished it, renovated it, and it's rented out. So it's mine and my brother's house technically, but I do all the work. So I would love to own like my own property, whether it be there or here, or own a business, just something that I can call my own that's for me. So I'm working on that. I don't know what yet exactly. I have crazy ideas all over the place, but I want to definitely own something. And I've also thought about maybe going back to school for a master's degree. I think you can never stop learning. I know you don't really need an education these days, but I just feel like my best and like sharp when I'm like learning something. So definitely possibly going back to school. And like I said, just finding that internal like happiness. So mental health, working on that, physical health, all that stuff. And not just because of a pageant, but because I want to look and feel good. So
Right.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
So proud of you.
Very nice. Very,
I have a question. So I saw you on is it on Telemundo, Univision?
Univision, yeah.
Univision, the Enamorados, right?
Yeah.
Dating show. What's going on with that?
I'm still single, girl. I didn't find out.
Oh my God, wait a minute. You were on a dating thing like Bachelorette?
Yeah, it's kind of like 12 Corazones.
Right.
Or one of those,
What's
like,
that old school dating show that they were like on one side and then the men were
The dating game, wasn't it?
The dating game. It's kind of like the Spanish version of the dating game.
Literally, that's what it was. It filmed in Miami. I went twice. I filmed it once during 2020, and then I went back this like a few months ago, and I finished the last season.
Wow.
And it was intense. Like what they say about reality TV is no joke. It was long hours. We'd get to the studio like at 4 o'clock for hair and makeup and leave at 10, 11 o'clock sometimes.
Wow.
And the essence of the show is you go on like a blind date where there's like a door in between you and you date this person for like a few minutes, ask him questions, and I'm just trying to base if I like him or not just off what he's saying because I can't see what he looks like.
You can't see him.
And and then once the door
it's
opens,
like love is blind in
Spanish. Yeah, eso así.
Exactly, but all in Spanish, mind you. And and it was crazy. I mean, I met some of my best friends on that show.
Really?
Yeah, best friends. I didn't mean nobody else.
Right.
But I had a great time, and I think like the toxic part of it was definitely like the social media part. You know, a lot of cyberbullying, a lot of mean people. Like people were like rude and crazy online, and I'm just like, it's not real. It's a show.
Right.
And people would just like, So that was tough on me. It took a toll on me, which is why I left the first time. But then they're like, you have to come back. And I just, I had fun being myself on camera and making people laugh and meeting people. So it had its pros and cons, but your girl is still single.
So what will you say? What will you say to someone that's trying to find their way or do things that, like what inspired you, or how do you get yourself inspired to do the things you do? What will you say to someone that's trying to either be in the modeling world, be in the pageant world, all these things?
Kind of going back to what I said earlier is like your why reason, like why do you want to do these things you want to do? And then I think once you figure that out, it'll kind of lead you or open up the gateway to, how to get into that. And I think we all have like a little bit of us that's like curious in like anything entertainment. So I think it's just like doing that soul searching and figuring out like why you want to do it. And then once you're there, if you can handle it, if you have like the mental capability to be, on set for hours or to take the backlash from producers or fans. It's like a big mental game, honestly. And then you have to figure out if it's worth it for you in the end, if it's worth it financially, emotionally, if you can see it benefiting you in the future. That show has opened up a lot of doors for me. So it kind of, like I said, the pros outweigh the cons, but it's definitely a bargain in the end. So
nice. Yeah, because like you said, the whole bullying and all that plays a big part with anyone that's right in the entertainment world. It's so cruel right now, the world, right? And it's thanks to social media. People are really jackasses because that's the word.
And at first I
on
would
social media.
At first I would like argue. I'm like, you're not gonna say this to me, and I would like go back and argue with these people. But then in the end, I'm just like, I'm wasting my own time. It's not worth it. Like these people have like no profile picture. They're like, invisible in essence, and they just want to say something because they have nothing else better to do. So
exactly,
it's like that.
unos amargados.
Sí, miserable. Like
I was saying that misery loves company, and and a lot of people feel bold when they're hiding behind a phone or some shit. You know.
Yeah, wouldn't say it in person.
Exactly.
They will crumble. They will. If you told them what they're saying to you, they will crumble.
For sure. For sure.
They just don't know that you take off your earrings, put your head back, and put.
Yeah, we're from the Bronx.
Like what? No,
for real.
We've had that conversation here.
Latina from the Bronx, forget about it.
Yeah, I feel like we've had that conversation here because all of us are from the Bronx, right? We all went to high school together. Like we've known each other for a very long time. So it's like, I feel like Latinas from the Bronx or just people from New York in general, we just got different skin.
We different.
We
different.
Yes,
and
it never leaves you. It never leaves
it never leaves
no matter how old you are.
Mira, no puedes llevar a la China. No puedes llevar a la China. Y si me buscaste por el lado equivocado, te jodiste.
Yeah, it's like you could be a CEO or the VP of a company, and you could be like, E equals MC squared, pero si te dicen algo, you're like, wait, what did you just say?
Yes.
It's like, hold on.
Dame un momento.
Susan, cancel my next meeting. What did you just say? It's like it's crazy.
Turn it on,
yeah. It's like you know how to flip the switch, you know. And I think in every aspect of the entertainment industry, from the lowest of the lows of entertainment to the highest of the highs of being in this industry, from throwing a party to winning an Oscar, like I think you just have to have a different type of mentality and understanding of what comes with this industry.
And especially for us females.
Yes.
It's 10 times harder than for the male.
Yep.
In every aspect. Every man that's next to you, te lo ponen de marido. Every woman that's next to you is envious. It's just horrible. It's just so much harder for us females.
Yeah. What would you say?
That's why I asked, what would you say to someone that was trying to find themselves in the industry?
Like we had a younger girl here who was a pageant queen.
Yeah.
And she was amazing, and she's an advocate for bullying.
Yeah.
Oh, so nice.
That's her niche within the pageantry world. She's an advocate for bullying, and that's because she was getting bullied because she was doing pageants.
Oh, wow.
So she kind of flipped the script on them and was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to wear this crown proud, but now everything that you're going to say to me, I'm going to revert it into a positive.
Yeah.
You know?
Good for her.
Yeah, definitely. She's the sweetest thing ever, and she's beautiful. I can't wait.
She was like 9-10 years old?
She was like 9-10 years old. I think she's like 11 now.
Wow.
So I'm curious to see her when she's like 16, 17. She was gorgeous as a little girl.
Bella.
Bella. So I'm curious, but what would you say to someone that has experienced that type of bullying, you know, within the pageant industry or just entertainment in itself, that doesn't know how to handle that, like that it's affecting their mental health?
That's so funny because I feel like people that would like bully me when I was younger for doing it now are like, oh my gosh, congrats.
Ay, amiguita. Ay, qué bueno.
Oh, I see you, girl. Oh, can you invite me to this? Or I'm so happy. It's so funny.
Y le cómete la tierra que está en el piso.
So, I mean, that she's 9-10 years old doing, you know, an anti-bullying campaign or just, you know, that's great, because at the time I didn't have the cojones to do that.
Right.
You know, so it's like after I got older that I really started not to care and embraced, you know, what I did. And I'm like, that's no different than a sport. Like you play basketball, football, you're on the chess team. It's no different. It's a sport. It's a hobby.
Right.
And that's how you choose to spend, you know, your free time. And I see nothing wrong with it, but it's like, it's so hard to break the narrative around like the bullying around it. I don't know why. If it's like a jealousy thing, if it's just like an insecurity thing, or they want to do it themselves, but they don't know how. It's weird to me. Up to this day, I can't put my finger on it, but I think it's time to like remove that stigma around it, and just, you know, it starts at home. I think we're like showing our kids, you know, to be insecure or like not happy for other people and not being genuine. It's like no different. So I think it starts at home, honestly. And just, you know, instilling that confidence in your kids and your family. And then they can take that to school and be supportive of like a friend doing a pageant or a cheerleading show, whatever the case is. So
yeah, cheers to that answer. That's I think that's very true.
It's funny you say that, because I admire Jessica for that. Jessica has 2 daughters and she's always given them a voice. And and they're very confident girls, and I love that. I have 2 boys, so that's why I'm saying it. But it's so important, because even though I have boys, it's the same thing. I always try to make them feel sure of themselves. Like this is gonna be kind of funny, but like my youngest son says that I ruined him because he has my forehead. I said, well, you should be proud, because I'm Dominican and I'm very fucking proud of my big forehead. But he has the same forehead, and now he's learned to embrace it. You know? Before he always would have his hair like this, you know, like trying to cover his forehead. Now he'll do his ponytail because he has long hair and whatever. And I'm like, you're gorgeous. Girls would freaking la baba se le sale cuando lo ven.
And that makes the unique.
Forget it. That's who you are. That's your uniqueness. That's you like, be proud, stand tall. And then, like you said, that comes from home. You know, my parents were very strict, but yet they taught us to not to think we were better than anyone, but to know we weren't less than anyone.
That's right.
So important.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because it's not about being conceited, pero ser orgulloso, sentirse
seguro,
Proud.
And it's so important to inscribe that into kids. Because the kids crumble at everything nowadays, like any little thing, and they're on medication or they're suicidal or they're depressed. And I'm like, what? You're 8 years old. What do you know about depression? You don't pay bills. You don't have a husband. You don't. What are you depressed about? You don't have a job.
But it starts at home, for sure.
It does. It definitely starts at home, and you know, your household was amazing, and they did an amazing job with you. I firsthand saw, you know, your mother, you know, your mother was the bomb, because tú no fuiste fácil, you know.
I know.
But your mother knew, like, her mother she would just be like, "Stauda." Like, she would just not even yell, she would just snap, you know, like. And
that's a Dominican thing.
Yeah, it was the bomb. My yelling went to a minimum. I'd be like, you know.
Yeah, but, she got it.
Yeah, she did. And you had a very strong foundation in your family too, I have to say. So I am, again, very proud of you. I applaud you for all of your accomplishments. I pray that you continue, you know, into the lane of success. What is your next pageant coming up?
I just did one like 3 weeks ago. So I'm like pageant fresh.
Yeah, which one was that one?
This was Miss Rhode Island, USA. So it's like a preliminary to Miss USA. So I came in second. I was close.
Wow.
Oh, so wait, you can't go on to Miss USA unless you come in first?
Yeah. I know,
Oh.
girl. We were this close. I know. It was a tough competition. A lot of good girls.
It's coming, baby.
It's coming.
I hope so. So now I'm just kind of like, I have a pageant hangover, as we say. I'm still recovering from the pageant.
Can you reapply to do it again next year?
I can.
Okay.
There's always next year, so we'll see. I'm kind of taking a break from it now because I really focus a lot of months on it. So we'll see. But there's always next year. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope so. Yeah. I hope so. So I could be on the TV and be like, oh my God.
Yeah. I know.
Baby, that's one of my babies. But I'm so happy and so glad that you found the time that,
Yes.
for you to come onto the show. I hope you can come back again, wearing your Miss USA crown.
Imagine, I so would. Oh my God.
Oh my God, I would love that. I would love that. But don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back with my segment, Entertaining con Francis. And I'm going to tell you about all the little getaways you can do this summer in New York City. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to Entertaining con Francis. So today I'm excited to share little summer getaways you can do in New York City. So being that I'm corny as can be, growing up, I used to have aside from Hello Kitty, an asphyxiation with Barbie. And this summer they have the Malibu Barbie Cafe in New York. It's on Fulton Street. Tickets are $22 and you can relive the life of Barbie. They have a countertop, they have the big Barbie box, they have the pink Barbie umbrellas. It's the whole shebang. You can just spend a day being Barbie. They have early bird pricings, like I said, $22 for kids, and then for adults it's $39 to $49, depending if it's like on peak or off peak. You get an entree and a side, and you have an hour-and-a-half table reservation with full access to the Malibu Barbie Cafe experience. And this cafe is going to be up at 19 Fulton Street, like I mentioned before, from May 17th to September 15th. So we've already lost a couple of weeks. You have a couple of months left. Enjoy it. It's a cute thing to relive your childhood if you want to introduce your daughter into, Malibu Barbie. And I had the clothes, I had the shoes, we had everything growing up. Like, that was our thing. Another thing is not to miss out on the waterfront block party in Brooklyn. So in Brooklyn, if you haven't been, you have to go check it out. There's a huge waterfront bar, and it's oceanfront, obviously. And it's a huge block party. It's an amazing experience. It's at the Skyline Drive in New York City on Oak Street in Brooklyn. The tickets start at $42. They're having a huge party July 4th from 1 to 9 p.m. And if you're wanting to party, pop bottles, just have something to drink, or, just go with a group of girlfriends, it's an amazing time. They have pre-sale tickets. They have packages. They have bottle packages. For a table of 8, it's a $1,500 per table bottle package. It includes 3 bottles and 12 assorted beers and seltzers. If you're not a drinker, you can just show up and have a good old time. It kind of reminds me of the back in the day Miami parties that we used to do. It's just different little things that you can have throughout the summer, and kick it off July 4th and start the summer with a big bang or bash. So the last thing is going back to the childhood. They have an Alice in Wonderland and all immersive cocktail experience. So it's at Percana NYC on Amsterdam Avenue. The tickets are $55. It's from June 16th to July 9th. And you have an entire Alice in Wonderland experience, from the teacups to the decor to the Mad Hatter to the Cheshire Cat. Everything is there. It's Fridays through Sundays. And I'm excited to actually do this. I wanted to go do it when my boss came in from LA, but we didn't get a chance to do it. It's a complete Alice in Wonderland themed cocktail adventure. You don't want to miss it. They have all these little different events popping up throughout the city. They also have one for Beauty and the Beast. They have the Tiffany Cafe as well. There's so many different things that you can do this summer for a quick one-day getaway. So I hope you guys enjoyed everything that I offered you today. You can find all these things on bucketlisters.com. They have a collection of different things that you can do for the day or for the weekend. Don't miss out this summer on doing different things. See you there. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back. So are we gonna go have tea with the Cheshire Cat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
Yes. We
I
definitely
think
have
that would
to
be
do,
so cute.
we definitely have to do them.
we do. I like those little, I like that the city is doing like theme things. Like
Mhm.
I do.
Yeah.
And you know, there's an area in Brooklyn, by Bay Ridge, that does the first Monday of the month. It's like all tables. It's almost like a fair, and they sell food and products and all kinds of stuff. So it's like a street fair, but it's by the mall, where that mall is there,
Oh wow.
and it's right by the water. It's really nice.
Nice.
I stumbled upon it with my cousin when we were house hunting for him.
Oh
So
wow.
it was
That's
really
interesting.
cool. Yeah. They were
That's
just
interesting.
setting up, and we were like, oh, and the girl told us it's the first Monday of every month they do it from 4
Wow.
to 9, I think it is, or something like that at night.
I like the fact that
They have DJ music. It's like,
It-
it's fun.
I like the fact that it's an adult event.
Yeah.
Even though it's a
Yeah.
children's theme, right? These are the things that we grew up, watching and trying to emulate, but it's an adult theme event. So, you're having adult food and adult,
Well, because
drinks.
it's us adults who used to
Yeah.
have this when we were kids,
Yeah.
right?
So I love the
There
fact
is
that
there's actually a bar in Manhattan on the Lower East Side that it is Alice in Wonderland themed.
Yeah.
oh,
The
wow.
mixologist does all these drinks Wonderland theme. I don't
Yeah.
know what the name of it is, but I know that
I gotta look
that's
that up.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's so
Love
cool.
it.
I would like for us to go just for like shits and giggles to the Golden Girls pop-up.
Oh, I didn't know they had a Golden
Yeah,
Girls.
so Claudia, Dora, and Kim, we went to the Friends pop-up and we had so much fun because you get to be in the apartment, you get to
Right.
wear all of Chandler's clothes, you get to
Yeah.
like experience what it was to be on the show. So I would love for us to go do the
The Golden Girls.
the Golden Girls
That is
pop-up.
so
I think that would be
funny.
so
Oh
funny.
my God, that would be so
I
funny.
think it would be so funny. And we could just picture ourselves, being in Miami in a condo after we retire. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep on doing that throughout the entire summer. So people can have, one day
Yeah.
getaways, weekend getaways. Sometimes you can't afford to go away for the entire weekend, but
Just a day.
a day,
A
a
day
whole
of
day
fun.
just to get out into the city. Like we as New Yorkers take New York for granted and we don't
do
enjoy the
anything.
things that people travel
All the
thousands of
tourists.
miles
All the tourists, they fly from other
to
countries.
come
Yeah.
here and enjoy. So I
Yeah.
think it's time for us to start, enjoying what our city is offering. They're offering so many different things now.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoyed my segment. And don't go anywhere because we'll be right back with our final remarks. We'll be right back.
Y'all, what did you think about our segment today? It was so cool, wasn't it? Like, all right, Francis, we gotta go do some shit in the city because it is necessary.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And Jessy was so humble.
She was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was
so
great.
good.
Yeah.
I just met her today, but I'm so proud of her.
Me
so
too.
proud of her. Her mother must be
With wings.
shining.
Right. Right?
Watching all the great things her daughter's doing.
Yeah. Actually breathing some good air because from
the
what
good
Francis
head and the
said, she
shoulders
was
that she has.
devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like a proud mom, right? I mean, I've had them since they were like 12, 13, and to see them grow up, throughout all these years and see where they've become and what they're growing into be, and it's just like, oh my God, they're evolving into these beautiful, mature, educated, driven women, and I couldn't be more proud. She was a horrible cheerleader, but she's
well, that wasn't her calling.
Yeah, no, it wasn't at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
at all. She had 2 left feet, la pobre. But she was, she's been so successful, and she has her degree, and I'm so proud of her. I'm so
Yeah.
proud of her. I wish her many, many, many more years of success, and I can't wait to see where she's gonna be in 5 years.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah,
She's gonna get that #1 place in one of her
Yeah,
packs.
she will.
Yeah,
She
She's
will.
so close. Yeah.
She will.
definitely,
Her
100%.
mother's gonna keep opening that path for her. You'll see.
Yeah, her heart is in the right place. So her
With
heart
all
and
the
her
beautiful
mind.
things she does, like I said to her, that's why all these doors and blessings are coming
Mhm.
for her. When you
Yeah,
do good,
definitely.
it comes back in folds.
Yeah, I believe that too. 100%.
Mhm.
Definitely. So I can't wait. I wish her well. I
Yeah.
definitely wish her well. So guys, thank you so much for watching our show. Join us next week when we meet with actress and activist Melissa Dupre.
Melissa is an actress, producer, activist, and stand-up comedian. Please join us as we discuss with her the lack of Latinas in the entertainment industry, Wednesdays on YouTube.
Tune in and listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and Google Podcasts. And follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Wine and Wisdom 5. Y óyeme, our next live show is coming up July 22nd, Philly. If you are in the Philly area, make sure to purchase your tickets. They're up on our website already. Sales started on June 1st. Don't forget, take a minute to sip some wine and share it with them. Ciao.
Bye.